Hey guys, welcome back to some crypto. In today's content, I will talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC on a macro scale. We'll take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months going forward. So the monthly time frame, it is quite incredible as of now. Okay, we've been talking about it like since December. We said exactly BTC most likely going to retest the monthly 21 EMA, and we just don't know how long it is going to take for the for bears to be strong enough to break out below the monthly 21 EMA. Because if bulls stay strong and the volume remains low, we will take a look at the volume later on. If the volume remains low, most likely we're not going to get a breakout. However, if we get a spike in volume over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months, depending on the volatility, right, we could basically say, hey, that's the bottom, and we could be pushing to the upside. If the volume is even like a green and we get the pump to the upside above 70k, we will still be saying we will be pushing to the upside over the next like a few months after that, right? So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis regarding the 21 EMA. So when you take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, the 21 EMA, it is one of the most important, macro EMA to pay attention to. At the same time, the 50 EMA, as of now, we're still not retesting the 50 EMA. It is right now at 32k. So but if we just focus on the monthly 21 EMA, because we're retesting it right now, we talk about it like we said. If you take a look at what happened back in 2018, right there, it took like nearly 5-6 months before we get a breakout below the 21 EMA. Similar price action back in 2019, right here, triple bottom before pushing back up to 10.5, and then later on dump down to the monthly 50 EMA, which is going to be our next price target if and only if we break out below the monthly 21 EMA. So now, since like we're not breaking out below the monthly 21 EMA, but the volume is low, what can we expect? We got to expect a high volume over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months. So if you take a look at the volume profile right here, the price action is basically just moving sideways, right? You can see like we cannot break out above 69k, but at the same time we cannot break out below like a 30k support right here. But take a look at the volume right here. The volume, it is what, just decreasing. Okay, it is just decreasing, been decreasing since when? Since like March 2021. So it is already 12 months of sideways correction with decreasing volume. That's not good. That's not good. It's not good for the bulls, and at the same time it's not good for the bears. Why it is not good for the bulls? Because if you're bullish on BTC, right, at the monthly 21 EMA, but the volume is pretty low, you're going to get a high volatility. And if bears are strong enough, right, they could dump the price to the downside with a high volume and buy everything, and you might be bearish after the dump, and sucker basically going to be reversing. Okay, however, if you if you're a bear, okay, you might be expecting a spike in volume, right? But you don't know what type of a spike you're going to get. Could the volume even like be a complete buying pressure, right, with a push in price? Okay, meaning like price action, instead of basically dumping and reversing, it could just pump all the way up to 69, 70k, and bear is going to be like, okay, I'm going to be shorting at 69 and all that good stuff, and sucker basically going to be pushing to the upside after that. So the best thing to do is just wait for the spike in volume, right? If you're looking for the macro view, if you're accumulating at the monthly 21 EMA, accumulate at the monthly 21 EMA just in case, right, it basically breaks out above the 69k. Okay, and at the same time, be ready in case we dump down to the monthly 50 EMA, because a breakout below the monthly 21 EMA going to take us straight down to the monthly 50 EMA. Right now it is at 25k to be exact. Okay, but it is going to be fluctuating, so I would just say 25 to 24k, give or take, going to be the next big trading range. I'm not saying we will get there in March, April, May, or June, I don't care, but all I'm saying is the directional move. If we get a spike in volume with a spike in price to the downside, the directional move going to be down to the monthly 50 EMA. Okay, it could basically even break it and close above it. Remember, it is the monthly time frame. Prices can basically still be trading below the monthly 50 EMA for a few weeks, but might not close above it. Just like what happened right here. If you recall, after we dumped down to a 35k, what we said was like we're still at support, okay, 35k, even though price dumped all the way down to 33k. All right, so something to keep in mind going forward, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. So if you take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, last week, the last day of the last month, BTC pumped a lot, nearly like 18%. Okay, most people were FOMOing on that pump. But what I was saying was like the 43 to up to 45k area was what a resistance. Okay, you don't want to basically be buying at 43, 45 on that pump. And at the same time, on a weekly basis, if we go ahead and take a look at it on a daily basis, right? If we take a look at it on a daily basis, right there, that's the last day of the month, and we pumped 18%. I was like, okay, that's not right. Okay, it is not right. We're pumping like 18% the last day of the month. I was expecting like BTC to close above like a 38,466, but I did not expect like a nice 18% pump in in less than 24 hours. And that volume right here on a daily basis was nearly 25,000. Okay, if you take a look at it right here, okay, it was like 25,000 volume. Okay, not BTC, but BTC volume. All right, so the next day, right, we got like 22,000 volume. So all that pump on the weekly basis, right, came on the last day, the first day of the week. Okay, so we did have a 25,000 volume the first day of the week, right? But 127,000 volume overall for the year, for the next like 6 days and all that good stuff, right? So it was quite a lot for the first day to get like a 25,000 volume, and could not basically if you take a look at it again right here, right, the first day of I would say the third day, right, of the week, we just got like 8,000 volume. So it is not that big, or it is not that incredible. Yes, we got nearly 17 hours to go, right? So it means over the next like 17 hours, the volatility could be pretty high. Okay, it could be pretty high. We just don't want to be getting like, let's say 8,000 volume for a daily bullish candle. So it is not something like you want to be buying. So keep an eye on the volume. Yesterday volume right here on the 8th, March 8th, was like 19,000. This volume right here, just an 8-hour candle, right? Right now it is just a nice 8-hour candle, right? So if you take a look at it, our candle will close in an hour, and we already got 8,000, 9,000 volume. So over the next like 16 hours, it might be very, very volatile. Okay, it could be very volatile. So now let's take a look at BTC in terms of Fibonacci. So if you take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci, we're almost at 0.618 right there, almost at 0.618, right? So 0.618, just about like a 41.8 to a 42k area. 0.786 going to be all the way up to a 43. So if we get there, right, within the next like let's say 4 hour to 6 hour and all that good stuff, most likely bear is going to be showing up, because remember yesterday's volume was what, 19,000, right? So it means like BTC could trade somewhere around between 16,000 to 18,000 volume, okay, over the next like for the entire daily candle, and we only got like 16 hours to go, right? So if we get there, if we get somewhere around like a 43, 42 area, right, bear is most likely going to be showing up with some selling pressure to basically compensate the rest of the volume. Remember, the volume right here, even though it is a buying pressure, right, it is a net volume, meaning like the entire buying and selling. Okay, so the candle is green, or the volume is green because candle closed above open. That's why you got a green buying volume right here. Okay, if candle closed below the below the open right there, you're still going to get the same amount of volume, right? Candle, okay, with a red volume. You see what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to your volume, right, over the next like a few days and all that good stuff. All right guys, thanks a lot for watching.